and welcome back to the Melanin Muses Podcast, where psychology, anime, pop culture, and deep conversations collide with the right amount of chaos. I'm Cleo, your resident creative and lover of all things nerdy.
And I'm Callie, your friendly neighborhood clinical counselor, mental health advocate, and fellow nerd. Today, we're tackling a big topic, one that has shaped so many of our experiences without us even realizing it. Representation in the media and how it impacts our mental health.
That is right. Because let's be real. Because seeing yourself on screen in comics and video games and anime, whatever type of stuff you watching, whether it's even if it's smut or whatever it may be, it matters. Representation matters. And it's the difference between feeling invisible and then feeling empowered. And today we're gonna break down exactly why that is.
Yeah. So this is a great place to start with the basics. Why does representation matter? From a psychological standpoint, seeing people who look like us in the media that we consume has a huge impact on our identity, self-esteem, and our mental health, which we're going to talk a whole lot about.
Yeah, and on the opposite side of that, in a way, when you grow up never seeing yourself in these particular characters that are in popular media, not only in general, but you only see them in a way that are villains, sidekicks, stereotypes, you start to internalize that. It's whether it's consciously or subconsciously, it's like, hey, is that all I'm worth, or is that all that you see me as? And it not only affects yourself, but it also reflects how other people are going to see you. And you also start to, the last part of that is you even belong in these spaces. Not only are just daily life, but just, do I even belong here? And am I even important if this is how other people see me? So we're gonna dig into that.
Exactly. And there's actually a psychological concept called mirroring. Where we subconsciously seek reflections of ourselves in the world around us. When those reflections don't exist, or they have a more negative connotation socially, it can lead to lower self-esteem, feelings of exclusion, and even anxiety and depression.
So let's actually talk about that. Because the first thing that comes to mind, I don't know, you know that. Remember the whole mermaid thing?
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day.
I will tell you, go ahead.
Yeah, we gonna talk about the mermaid thing.
We gonna talk about the mermaid.
Yeah, we gonna talk about because that's the thing. I understand when it comes to the mermaid thing. We all know the classic Disney's Ariel, right? We know the story behind her. She's a redhead. People say she has no soul, but that's a whole different story.
Right, mercy.
I'm kidding. I love me some Ariel. But side note, you've matured when you start to agree with her father. It's like, Daddy, I love him. No, bitch.
You better chill out.
Breathe. No, go swim in a circle somewhere. I don't know, but no, you don't. Come on. Anyway, that's a whole other tangent that we could go on.
It's hold on.
But no, we know who she is. We love her. We appreciate the representation. We understand the historical background of the creator and stuff. But is Hallie, yes. Halle Bailey?
Halle Bailey.
Okay, she's great. She's beautiful. She did wonderful in that. And all of a sudden, when Disney announced that there was going to be a Black Mermaid, the comments were disgusting. They were absolutely disgusting. And a lot of people, what I really loved was that, oh my God, mermaids aren't black because, scientifically they can't be. I'm like, fool. When do you know there's a real mermaid? Mermaids are they're not scientifically real, so how can you try to pull science?
When the last time you seen a bitch with a tail?
Exactly. Besides in your dreams or on your, humping pillow. I don't know.
Ooh-wee.
But it makes me so angry. But at the same time, it's when the moment, and this is only speaking off the Black community, because this is all that I can speak from, being biracial, but I'm brown, so obviously I'm too dark to be white. But I'm also don't fit the traditional stereotype. No, legit. I was known as the Oreo.
That's a whole. We'll talk about that.
That's a whole other conversation.
We'll talk about it.
But growing up, I've only really consumed content that predominantly featured white characters. I never really saw other people who looked like me, but also those who came from the same background as me, because I wasn't fully accepted by the Black community, because it was hey, you like Asian stuff? You're not one of us. You don't like this? You're not one of us. But also, you're brown. You're not one of us either. So I'm I'm just here. I'm existing. You know what I mean? But that is really accentuated when in the media, even especially in anime, you only see pale characters. And if you saw darker characters, they were evil, they were like the sidekick or the sassy best friend. I'm like, I'm sassy, but I'm not that sassy. Can I still be the best friend? I don't know.
And their features were exaggerated ridiculously, and if you want to get more into that, we definitely can. But
exactly. And that really puts a perspective on your mentality of like also the concepts of beauty. Because whenever a person, at least a brown person that I saw in media, they were seen as the least desirable. They were always like the psychic friend who would help the lead character find true love, or they'd be the one that's passed over.
they call that trope the Magical Negro.
The Magical Negro? Okay, please talk more about that.
Oh, all right. So, a little history moment for you guys. So basically, in media, there's a trope called the Magical Negro, which is basically when you have a black side character who's often represented by the help in some form or fashion, whether that's a maid, a manservant, a butler, a sidekick of some sort. And the lead character is normally a person who is of a paler persuasion, and they're in need of some type of help. What is it? The Legend of Bagger Vance is a good one with Will Smith.
Okay,
basically he's a representation of a very enigmatic character. He's a baggy person for I don't know golf terms. Leave me alone.
Caddy?
Improve it. Yeah, he's a caddy.
Sorry, caddy. Yes.
No,
That doesn't bother me.
these are real terms that I don't know right now because I don't golf. Why would I? But anywho, so we've got Bagger Vance, who is Will Smith's character, who's helping the main character improve in the world of golf. But of course, he has no real fleshed out background of his own for real. He's more just kind of a decoration that helps move the plot along and empowers the main character to become a better version of themselves. And then he just dips out, and that's the end you hear about him. It's a major part of the story in that their presence pushes the story along, but it doesn't necessarily have any real impact as far as who the character is in a fleshed out background. They're just a decoration that benefit the main character, and that's kind of a trope that's been in media for quite a long time. It's also in television shows. Pretty much anytime you see the sassy black character on the side, their main role is to help the main character, but we don't know very much about them.
Like, how did that make you feel growing up?
Oh boy. So funny enough, my experiences weren't exactly the same as yours when it comes to like having a biracial background, but being a identifying black woman, my exposure to media mainly came down to what does it mean to be black? Like, how does that representation and how does that orient with my personality and my skill sets and ability to exist within this world? And so for me, same experience when it comes to anime and manga. I was obsessed with that stuff. I call it a blessing in disguise that I went to a all-girls high school. And so yes, I faced criticism with my love of anime and manga and expressions that were more Japanese influenced. But it's because I couldn't find a place to belong in the black world. Like, I, again, wasn't black enough because of my diction. My ability to articulate words was way too close in proximity to whiteness than it was to blackness. And so you were always othered for that if you could, quote unquote, speak well. But the thing is, this is how I was taught from a very young age to speak. I haven't had chances or opportunities or even a reason to speak differently. But that's hard to explain to different people. So add the love of anime, which is at the time wasn't considered to be mainstream. It was a very niche community within nerds, or quote unquote the weeaboos, which is also a slur in a way, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, we had to print out pictures and then tape them on our notebooks because we couldn't find
because
it.
There weren't any online for real.
No, there's so many things we had to do back then.
We had the pirate, anime theme music for our MP3s.
LimeWire.
Oh my god. And so you had to get our anime either from like Toonami or try to find VHS tapes and DVDs from like the toy stores. It was crazy.
Anyway,
but
yes.
We say all that to say that in my little niche world of high school, I got messed with, bullied, and talked down to by the other girls who were quote unquote more popular, into more mainstream things.
Yeah.
But that didn't really deter me, because at the end of the day, I'm like, I am weird. It is what it is. I'm gonna run around with the tail. Absolutely. I'm gonna wear the ears too. Y'all like Inuyasha? I do.
Did you wear a tail?
Yeah, I did. Oh, I love me my little foxtail that I bought at the Ren Fair. And then I would pin that thing on and run up and down the hallways and shake it at people. It was amazing.
Oh my gosh, I remember those days.
It was amazing. And you know what? I'd do that shit again. But anywho.
Yo! Like, you can see us. Oh, you okay over there, Ben?
Yeah, I'm great. This is the vibe. Also, thank you for the
Absolutely.
Hi, audio listeners. Ben from the booth again. I now have some proper dressing. Unfortunately, all of the normal things that they brought to wear that were golden and gilded required hair. And if you know me and the channel, I am a bald man. I'm also masked because I was sick last week. Anyway, back to the show.
No, I love, like, it's, and that's a total side tangent. Like, back in the day, like, we were nerdy as fuck, you know, like, it, like, you can see us coming from a mile away. Like, I look back and I find old photos of, like, the ears, the tail, trying to cosplay, trying to, like, having that quote-unquote emo face. This is just a face, mom! You know, all of that. And it's just, like, it's a very fascinating to see the nerd community, especially, like, the anime weeb community. Like, we try to find ourselves, and like back then it was just more incredibly challenging because there wasn't, like, when we try to cosplay, especially, like, you know more about cosplay than I, like, because I'm still a baby. I'm still a baby when it comes to the cosplay.
She's coming in though.
Yeah, she's corrupt. This one, let me tell you guys.
What I do?
This one corrupts me. She all. This one's a corrupt. She look innocent, but she a corrupter. Yes. And she's slowly pulling me into the deeper realms of the community. When it comes to, like, the cosplays, especially, it's very challenging as a person who is brown to try to actually cosplay as certain characters. Like, yes, we can do, like, the mainstream characters, but it's always going to be considered, well, that's not really that character. You know, and, like, the backlash that so many people get. Like, I don't know if y'all haven't heard this creator, please forgive me, I don't remember her name, but I know specifically, like, the sound that she has is like, Hinata isn't black.
Hinata isn't black. Hinata isn't black. Hinata isn't black. Hinata isn't black.
She gonna be black today. She gonna be black today.
Because she dressed as Hinata for Naruto. And then so many people were commenting, well, Hinata's not black. Hinata's not black. You can't cosplay as her. And there's just so much discourse about that. And I'm like, well, Hinata isn't white either, honey. So that means you can't cosplay her. So stop doing that. So, like, and that's what the community is about. It's just embracing your love and passion for these particular characters that spark something in you. And showing your appreciation and adoration through your costumes. But, like, and even though they didn't look like you, at least you were able to get something. But now it feels like the transition into, like, the major milestones and representation in anime is, like, now it feels like we're finally getting those little tokens of, hey, you exist too. Here you go.
So it's very refreshing to see a lot of the improvements, I'll say, when it comes to major moments of representation in video games, movies, anime, arts, and TV shows. When it comes to Black people or people of color, I'm going to put that umbrella under this as well. Because when we think about it, many communities that identify as people of color have also faced similar things, but I'll say we'll only speak from the perspective of Black people because that's the only representative the only perspective that we can represent accurately. So when we talk about, since you mentioned Naruto, we're gonna talk about Killer Bee.
Oh no!
Oh my god. So I've had mixed feelings about Killer Bee when he stepped on the scene. Because if I'm not mistaken, he's from the village in
the Clouds, I think?
Cloud Village?
Lightning
Village? Lightning Village. I feel like it's Lightning Village.
Let me check
yeah,
in the
please.
control booth.
I was gonna say control booth, please.
Yep.
Help.
Verify for me because I don't want to misspeak. Because I know the comments will come after me hardcore, and you know what? Bring it on.
For us.
Cowabunga it is. But it was a very funny introduction for me, because first off, I immediately like, oh, he got a little color going on. Mm-hmm. Okay, who's this guy? As soon as he started rapping, I knew exactly what they were trying to do, and I'm like, what's this gonna be? Oh God, where are we? please don't do. But then he looked cool, like actually cool. Like he had proportioned features that weren't crazy exaggerated. Yeah, he had cornrows, but I'm cool with that. Cornrows are good. Okay. Then he started rapping. Now, mind you, when you do the Japanese dub versus English,
It's so great.
it's something.
現在になるとはキュービと対決早めの決着みんなが待望待ってる俺たちとっても退屈しのぎに二人で体操
They tried.
They do.
They
It's
really
something. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, I get why, Naruto and Sasuke will look at him kind of funky, because I would too. You just come out of nowhere and start rapping in the middle of a thing. And I mean, he was with the hotness, so I'm okay with that. But he also was really powerful. So he wasn't a gag character.
Yeah.
In that they threw him in there for, laughs, and then he didn't have any real relevance to the story in the long run. Yes. Yes, Booth.
Okay, so for correction and clarification, he is indeed from the village hidden in the clouds.
Yes.
However, unfortunately, and the reason why this took so long to get done was because AI overview on Google, of course, said he is from the hidden village in the leaves.
Rude.
I know.
Nuh-uh.
It's like literally couldn't have been more off from the truth. So this is also just a reminder to everyone. Don't trust Google. It's bad.
Please
Back
Google
to
AI.
Google AI,
Yes.
which is just honestly. Well, this episode's not about the not about AI and how it's completely messed up everything.
Yeah.
But it has. Anyway, there's our clarification.
Thank you.
There we go. Live fact checking, now part of the Melanin Muses podcast and
I'm
other
here
scope
for it.
properties.
Hey, I love it. But anyway, yes, Killer Bee. Continue.
And so basically I love that he wasn't a throwaway character.
Yeah.
He actually had some relevance to the story and the arc that they were currently in, and he was powerful as all get out. Like, he was a goat.
He was.
And I'm here for that. We need that. We need that. Because I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of these characters coming in, doing little something and popping out. And then you're kind of like, what was the point of that?
When it came to Killer Bee, right? When I first saw his character, quite honestly, I was a little bit annoyed. So at first, it felt like another caricature. Kind of like, if you think about Poe or
Lord.
Jinx from Pokemon, it almost
Mr.
felt like
Popo.
Mr. Popo. And so when I first saw him, especially the whole trying to rap thing, I was just like cringy. I didn't want to like his character. I really didn't. But as I started to watch the show, I'm like, I kind of like Bee. I really do, because he's really quirky. And that also kind of goes into the concept of Ussop from One Piece. I hear so many mixed reviews and perspectives on this, of that, is Ussop really black? Is he just a light-skinned black person? Okay. Boothman. I see you.
He is so black that he was drawn as a caricature because Oda didn't know that American art styles are racist. What the fuck is this debate? Back to you.
The anger.
So Booth understands.
Yes.
Understands where our frustrations come into when it comes to proper representation. And the thing is, like, that's one of the things about, like, Japanese anime / manga representations of different cultures, is historically and socially they are more often than not incorrect, because they're going off of outdated information.
Well, also though, kind of tying in on that, guys, is like a lot of the time they don't really know. And this is not an excuse. Okay, this is not an excuse, and I'm not condoning it.
Yeah.
I am not condoning any of the caricature representations in anime and manga, especially in the earlier renditions. This is not condoning.
No condone.
But I'm trying to say this for understanding. Let me get that piece as a preface and a disclaimer. Okay. Anyway, so, and I think it's more so like if you haven't been out of the States, then it's going to be harder for you to understand where this is coming from. If you haven't lived in Asia for a little bit, or actually seen it without the rose-tinted glasses, it's going to be harder for you to understand. From being in Asia, I lived there for 4 years. I specifically Korea, but I've also been to Japan. Many people there, even though exposure to the internet is obviously rampant, it's like hidden in plain sight. People will see what's on the surface, but not everyone's gonna actually look underneath what that is. So for a lot of these,
Case in point, Google AI.
Exactly. Case in point, Google AI. Not many people are going to actually research the behind the scenes things of that and the history of it. They're just going to take it at face value. So for a lot of these artists who are trying to depict like brown people or people from other cultures, it's one of those things where they would see these caricatures, they would see these representations of black people in, let's say, old American literature, and they're like, oh, so that's how you draw black people.
Hi-ya.
And that's what they would think.
This is a wonderful segue.
Yes.
Because when we talk about the consequences of underrepresentation in media, let's be real, not every story gets told, and not everyone gets the representation they deserve. There are entire groups of people who are erased from media and are portrayed in harmful ways that have serious consequences. And so when we talk about that, we think about how there are different studies that show that when people don't see themselves represented, especially in positive ways, as we've been mentioning, they can struggle with development of their self-worth. And when they only have representation that gets through that are negative stereotypes, such as when we talk about like the mammy stereotype or the Magical Negro, or we talk about, minstrel shows, which is where Ussop's character design comes from.
Ussop.
Oops, yeah.
Ussop.
See, and the thing is, I'm confusing him with Aesop's Fables, which is a whole nother set. So again,
Boothman.
Hold up. No, okay, so because I don't know if you know this because I don't know how much One Piece you have, but Ussop is a play off of Aesop.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. So you don't understand where I'm coming from. Oh my god. So again, also angry black woman trope. Thug narratives are reinforced in real world biases. Okay? So I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not angry, I'm passionate.
When it comes to representation, not only is it important here where we live, a lot of us live, but it's very, very important for like the international audience, especially for those, the majority don't actually look beneath the hidden meanings behind things, so they're unable to understand or fully grasp it. And it's funny because just in 2018, 2019, I was in Korea at the time, and they were still doing blackface on reality shows.
Oh,
And for in costumes.
Oh, no.
A blackface mask. And it was just very. And I remember someone also came up to me and they're just like, oh my gosh, there's no more racism in America, right? Like, America's a great place to live. It doesn't exist anymore. And I'm just like, and I had to take a breath. And this was a stranger that wanted to practice his English and tried to talk to me. And I had to really sit there and take a breath and recognize this is how America is being portrayed in the media that they're not getting. So it's something that we have to both be understanding about, but also willing to educate. And I understand there's a lot of us, especially within the community, and I've seen the comments about that of, oh, I'm tired of educating. I shouldn't have to tell people. They should just go look it up. But at the same time, guys, something that I would like to encourage, and this is like a gentle encouragement, is that if there's someone who's willing to learn and they genuinely want to learn, that's something to be excited about, because the average person is just not going to care, because that comes with confrontation. If you care, there's going to be uncomfortability. But if you don't care, then you can live in comfortability. But for someone, like, I've encountered people of different persuasions who are just like, I want to learn more, I want to understand, but I don't know how because I'm afraid to ask it without being offensive. And that's why I'm just like, hey, if you have a question, since I know you're not coming from malice, please just ask and we can have a conversation about it.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise, how are they going to learn? How are they going to know? And especially with wanting to create productions in the media space, how are people going to do better if they don't know how to do better? So this is just a way to encourage you guys to, obviously your feelings are valid, but still have a sense of empathy in a way for those who genuinely want to understand and learn, so we can help fix it from the bottom up. Because even if we're not in the bigger space, we can still help start that little seed and help it grow.
So to kind of round that last part off,
Yeah.
if you're a person who's interested in learning more about the Black experience, I'd encourage you to use the phrasing, hey, can you help me understand your experience? I'm curious to know, and I'd like to understand better.
Yes.
And kind of that's a great way to open up that conversation, because believe it or not, a lot of people have been encountered with a lot of, like you said, confrontational ways of saying that, well, isn't that just what you do? Or are you like, come on guys, right? It's funny, huh? And it's like,
No.
you're gonna get met with a lot of hostility if you talk to people just like that, because you have no idea what people have been through. So start off as gently as possible. Hey, I'd like to understand your experience a little bit better. Are you open to sharing that with me? Give people the agency to share their story from their own experiences, and you'll be surprised with the reception that you're met with.
You want to sign us out, Callie, actually, on that note?
So, all right. Like Leo was saying, we want to hear from you. What's a movie, show, or game that made you feel seen for the first time? So feel free to elaborate a little bit, drop us a comment, let us know. What's next on Melanin Muses? Well, on our episode, we're going to dive into unpacking identity. So who are we in pop culture? And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next episode, so please come back and join us.
Yeah, we gonna get into it, guys. We're gonna see you next time. So until then, stay bold,
Stay curious and keep embracing your inner muse. Okay, bye! Bye!
The Melanin Muses Podcast is produced by Nikki Brojan with partnership with Scope Productions and executive produced by Benjamin Collins. This episode was edited by Nikki Brojan with fine cutting by Benjamin Collins. You can find the Melanin Muses Podcast on all podcasting platforms, and you can find a video version on the Scope Productions YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in.